Klopp wants to go on a high. Don't forget, Liverpool are still in the Europa Championship, meaning that they could actually win 3 trophies this season. So, if you are a Liverpool fan, I think your finger. Transit TV, welcome back again. Welcome back again. The title race is on in EPL. The running is deeply ongoing. Liverpool again put a dagger in the hearts of Arsenal and Manchester City fans after shaking off a very serious scare by Sheffield United at Anfield this afternoon, and came out with a 3-1 win after going ahead 1 goal from a very unforgivable mistake by the goalkeeper of Sheffield United. Of course, they got back into it, and up until 10 minutes to the end of that game, I'm sure Arsenal fans and Man City fans were thinking, okay, this is the blip that they've been hoping for Liverpool. But of course, McAllister, with a trademark strike, beautiful and sumptuous one for that matter, made sure that Liverpool went up 2-1, and which was handed up by Cody Gakpo to give Liverpool a 3-1 win. And on the other hand, concluding I don't know how to place this one. You know, this used to be a classic. 2 giants of English football in Manchester United and Chelsea played a game today in a running. This is how times have changed. Normally, when these games are played at this time of the season, they usually have a say in who wins the league, or at least make top 4 in EPL. But today, shameful as it is, these 2 giants of English football had a game, 8 games to the end of the season, and it had no relevance at all to who would be the champions of English football, as the case may be this season, which tells you where these 2 teams are presently. And more shameful is how they conducted proceedings today, especially Chelsea. For me, this shows the deepness of the gully that Chelsea as a club and as a team are in the moment. We'll dive into these 2 games a little bit deeper as we go. So welcome, and let's look at the talking points of these 2 games today, which produced the 11 goals thriller from 2 games. That tells you how, for the neutrals, for visuals, how exciting these 2 games were. Of course, like I said, the Manchester United and Chelsea played at a 7-goal thriller, while on the other hand, Liverpool had a 4-goal thriller against Sheffield United. Let's start with Liverpool. Liverpool, I raised my hands up 100%. I said in the beginning of the season that Liverpool, for me, do not have what it takes, especially in the defensive third of their team, to sustain a season-long title charge. But I mean, it looks like the announcement by Klopp that is leaving the club at the end of this season has galvanized and propelled this team. They are fighting tooth and nail with the last drop of their blood every game, and they're managing to squeeze out 3 points on the board, and which means that today they have gone back to the top of the table of EPL. This one, there's nothing much to talk about. It head-to-head between Sheffield United and Liverpool has shown that Liverpool are always going to win this one. But of course, if you are an Arsenal fan, if you are a Manchester City fan, you are thinking that this is one of those days that the history will be written by Sheffield United. Of course, they didn't manage to do that today. And Liverpool, of course, won this one 3-1, meaning that they have gone back to the top of the table, 60, I think 70 points right now, and Arsenal on 68, Manchester City on 67. Very, very tight. For the first time in a decade, we are having a 3-horse race for the EPL title this season. Is looking, and right now, I don't think anybody will say Manchester City are favourite to win this league. Is almost, for me, the same level of probability for all three teams involved in this title race. It is very, very interesting. I have maintained personally, so at this moment, it is Liverpool and Arsenal's season to win the league. Either of them has what it takes and should win the league. The City has not shown me enough to believe that they're going to do what City normally does every season. So Liverpool, kudos to Liverpool, kudos to their fans. You can continue to dream, can continue to start to dream. Eight games remaining, and as we go to the weekend of some very sumptuous fixtures coming up, and ones that could produce the expected blip from rival fans of either of these clubs to see if their teams can at least pull away 2 or 3 points from the rest and give them a breather. At this point of the season, if you have not created that gap that you can give yourself an allowance to draw or lose a game and still be top, the pressure is usually very, very high. This is what happened to Arsenal last season. They didn't manage to create that gap. And once City closed it up, at this point of the season, it was very difficult for them. And once they drew one of those games, the pressure pounded on those players and Arteta, of course, and they could not manage the emotional side of things, and they fell off. But this season, it looks like they have learned from it. They are looking a little better, more comfortable, and more confident going to the running. So we'll look and see how this goes. Klopp wants to go on ahead. Don't forget, Liverpool are still in the Europa Championship, meaning that they could actually win 3 trophies this season. So if you are a Liverpool fan, I think your fingers crossed, you can be dreaming. Then we go to Manchester City United and of course Chelsea. This is, for me, is a shame for these two clubs. This tells you, like I mentioned earlier on, where exactly Chelsea is as a club, as a team right now. I don't even know where to hold this one. I know Chelsea ran away with 3 points. They won this one. They came back. For me, if I'm a Chelsea fan, it's a mixed feeling because it can go 2 goals up 20 minutes into the game. I know it's a big game, but 2 goals up, you should be able to rally yourself up and see the game out. But United came back to this one, 2 goals, equalized the 2 goals and went up 3-2. And of course, like what happened the last, I think it was a couple of weeks against United again, 2 minutes to the end of the game, 97 minutes on the clock. United still conceded 2 goals and lost this game. Staying on Chelsea, where do you start from? Where are you going to? I was looking at Chelsea. I'm like, I don't know. It's really disturbing. And like I've said earlier on this channel, I think it's more of a coaching thing. Coaching is an issue. Another aspect of it is, when you go up, you are always going to come down. This is where Chelsea is right now. There is a lot of work to be done both in the club and in the team. And I think the earlier the fans, the club owners, and of course the fans accept the situation where they find their club at the moment, the better is going to be for them. Because sometimes this is going to, I think this is about the 6th season now of, 5th or 6th season now, Chelsea has not competed for the title. And I don't see them doing so the next two years. So this is where Chelsea is. I think the first thing first is for the club, the fans, and the owners to accept where they are, live in reality, and start to pluck out ways to get back to winning ways. They still, for me, have a bloated squad that is not balanced and is not well equipped to compete at the highest level. I still feel that there is an imbalance in experience in that team, especially in certain positions. In their midfield, they have some talented young players, but I believe they need some experience in that department to galvanize and harmonize those talents and put them to work. A midfield of Conor Gallagher, Caicedo, and Enzo, I don't think is balanced enough in terms of both their attributes and experience to propel Chelsea to compete where they want to be. Up front, Nicholas Jackson, I don't feel is good enough and experienced enough to lead the attack for Chelsea. So for me, these are the things that Chelsea probably will have to look into in the summer. I don't know if FFP will allow them to sign or they need to sell players, and this is where it's going to get tricky. They might have to make some very difficult decisions at the end of the season, let some players go and bring some players that complement what the young man Cole Palmer is doing. And that takes me to the next talking point. Cole Palmer for me, no doubt, is going to be Chelsea's player of the season. What a buy by Chelsea. If there's any one thing Chelsea has done good this season, in the last 2 seasons, is signing that young man. For me, he is going to be the future and the hope of Chelsea going forward. If Chelsea can bring 1 or 2 players up front that can complement what that young man is doing for Chelsea, probably they wait for them to get back into the echelon of English football, probably will be lesser than it looks right now. Cole Palmer, of course, today got a hat-trick, 2 penalties, and of course that last minute a screamer that ensured that Chelsea went home tonight with 3 points. And for me, that's the second talking point of this game. Cole Palmer showing what he has been doing all season. I think now he has about 30 goals contribution for Chelsea this season so far, which is in no way a cheap feat to be achieved. And in the aspect of Manchester United, this team every day shows signs and the attributes of this unity, this harmony. People who are not spirited, people who don't have the heart to fight, people who are not ready to fight for the badge, people who probably their heads and their minds are elsewhere. And it showed again today, going down 2 goals. Somehow, Chelsea allowed them back into it. Or I'm not going to discredit the quality of the pass that Anthony gave today, that gave Garnacho his first goal and brought United back into this game. And having done that, Garnacho again ensured that Manchester United went ahead 3-2. And one would be thinking that, yeah, United has run away with this one, and the focus was going to be on Mauricio Pochettino and his lads, But United again this season cannot stay focused. You remember last weekend after the Arsenal and the Man City game, Gabriel, what's his name? Saliba was interviewed, and he said that they had to stay focused and stay switched on for 97 minutes till the last second of the game to ensure that they came away from Etihad with at least 1 point. And this is what United has failed to do consistently this season. You are 3-2 up after going 2 goals down. Your coach makes some changes. For me, which look like defensive reinforcements. Just see out this game 2 minutes. See out this game 2 minutes. And the annoying, the shameful part of it is 3 points today would have given United a hope of making top 4, because the other 2 teams, Tottenham and Aston Villa, are also having their own blip. It seems nobody wants to hold on to that 4th position, either behind the top 3 contesting for the league title. So United should have just 3 points today would have given them a hope of making top 4, since Tottenham and Aston Villa are not winning their games. And considering the fact that these 2 teams, like I said in the last episode, are still going to play Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester City, I don't see them winning those 3 games, and which will have given United a leeway into top 4 and probably help them end the season in a kind of high that can give them, their fans, something to cheer about. But of course, what did they do today? They allowed this one slip away again, as they have been doing all season, which means that they came out today with 0 points. But just like Chelsea, there are a few things as well as United fan, as anybody related to Manchester United, that could also put some smile on your face thinking about the future, which is the young man Meno in their midfield. This boy, every time I watch him play football, reminds me of Clarence Seedorf. He is so composed, intelligent, and fearless in the heart of United midfield, doing bits. Again today, Garnacho, I think they said after Michael Owen, I think he is the next teenager that will score 2 or more goals in more than 3 games in a season. He did that today. Gave United what they needed and did his job. But of course, what did the team do? What did the experience of Casemiro, Bruno, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, all these players, what did they do? Let the young man down and considered those last-minute goals. Meaning that United, like I said earlier on, came out today with 0 points, with nothing out of the game. That is the situation that United and Chelsea are at the moment. And if you are a Chelsea fan, if you are a Manchester United fan, there is no hope in sight as when this team is going to come out from this gully. This shows Chelsea, regardless of the point that they came out with today, the gully in which they find themselves is so deep that one is beginning to wonder, with is Pochettino good enough to get Chelsea out of where they find themselves at the moment? So let me know what you think. Right now it's 8 games to go, end of the season. I will continue to ask this question. Do you think Liverpool, Arsenal, or Manchester City, which of these teams do you think is going to win this league, considering the fixtures that are left to the end of the season? Do you think Liverpool is favorite? For me, I think right now is Liverpool's league to lose, while Arsenal, considering other things other than football, makes me feel that somehow this might be Arsenal seasons. Don't forget that these teams are still involved in Europe. So let me know what you think. And for United and Chelsea, if you're a Chelsea fan out there, please let me know what you think Chelsea should do at the end of this season to get them backfiring the way they should be, get them back into competing for titles and honors in English football. Do you think they should change coach? What are the players? Do you think they should sign new players? If they should add players to their ranks, which player do you think Chelsea should sign? For United, of course, many United fans have come to this channel and they have said that they need their coach to go. Do you agree with that? What do you think United needs to do to complement the talent of players like Meno, Garnacho, and the rest of them in that club right now to get them back where they need to be? Let me know what you think. And of course, don't forget, this weekend the running continues. So many big games coming. Next week, of course, is the Champions League fixtures coming up. So Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City, these teams have big games coming up. And if you are a fan of any of these clubs now, I'm sure it must be like rubbing your hands and praying and hoping that things go your way. So that is for today. And let's see. Let me hear from you. Let me see, what's your opinion about United, about Chelsea, and do you think that Liverpool, of course, will continue with this their comeback habit that they have formed? Is this a sign of champion, as many say, or do you think that they're going to run out of luck very, very soon and return advantage to Arsenal and Manchester City? Let me know and see you next time. Ciao.